Hello, and welcome to the Chronicles of Yarnia, the podcast from Montclair's local yarn store. I'm Jen.
Amanda.
Kathleen.
And we're the team behind Yarnia. And this is a podcast all about knitting, crochet, stuff you can do with yarn, weaving, spinning, embroidery, all kinds of stuff. But mostly knitting and crochet. Who are we kidding?
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. Like, really? Who are we kidding?
That's totally fair.
Yes. So if you are a returning viewer, welcome back.
That's
if you're
right.
a new viewer, welcome. Nice to have you.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so we should just dive right in because, you know, we usually digress a lot, so.
So the sooner we get started, the better.
The sooner we get started, the better.
Yeah.
I know. It's been a big week.
It has. It really has,
Right?
yeah.
There's been a lot that's been going on. We had Shja from Black Pearl Magic here, which was so fun.
Such a fun weekend.
She's
She was
such
here
a doll.
Friday for a pop-up all day, and then Sunday for a sit-and-knit
Yep.
in the morning, which was so great. We had about 15 people sign up for it. Everyone had such a good time, just really... And it was nice also because the store was closed, so it really wasn't... You know, there were no interruptions. We got to do our usual thing, go around. Everyone talked about what they were working on. Yeah, and she was saying how she really wishes she had a local yarn store near her. So
Yeah.
if you are in the Baltimore area and you know of a great local yarn store, let us know what it is.
Comment below. Let us
Pass it
know.
along. I know Shayla watches us too sometimes. So, yeah, share if you've got some good info on that. But that was so much fun. The other thing we should say is that we are actually recording this. Usually we record every other Tuesday, but we've only had a week since we recorded last time.
Yes.
Because Amanda's going to be away for some time, and she is our editor extraordinaire and cannot take all of her editing equipment with her on her trip. So
You're like, and no.
Well, we couldn't film it.
Yeah, we couldn't
film exactly. Well, we could film here and you could film there,
We could
but
film here on like
But I
a
couldn't
phone.
get the...
true. Yeah, it just wouldn't work.
It wouldn't look good.
It wouldn't work. Yeah, and usually we're best not left by ourselves.
Oh my god, we are so fast not left by ourselves. Like, it takes us 20 minutes to figure out, be like,
Where the
what?
start button is.
Where's play? I'm so confused.
Yeah.
Like, we're easily distracted, and it's better to have like a grown up in the room and
So-
who knows technology and
And
doesn't
photography equipment and all of that.
photography
Yeah.
and you know, lighting.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
All
yep.
those fun things.
Yeah, we can never figure out how to put up the light or take down the light.
Yeah.
So we've only had a short time, but it has been a very
That's okay.
full time.
I feel like
Been
last
busy.
episode was almost a special episode because we had it's been a long time.
Yeah.
We did soldatnas together.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like a very long time ago.
In the old store.
I mean, the last time, I think this is
No, we were going to do a December sweater.
Oh, that's
but
right.
I finished.
I finished.
You did a stockinette sweater, and I did a
finished,
crochet bobble sweater.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't pick crochet bobbles for. Yes,
But I like the thing.
it was. I mean, it's super. Cute.
I actually forgot about that. Mine is somewhere. It's in a tub somewhere in my house. I'll have to find it in time for December. I know. Actually, one of my tasks for this afternoon I have been assigned by my husband, who will help me, but is to go through some of my clothes which are overtaking the dressing room. So there. I will find it today.
Yeah, you'll find it.
Yeah,
Okay.
mine is not going to finish this year, unless I get some weird inspiration.
Like a
And like an
burst
amazing block of
burst of
time.
energy and
A block of time out of
chunk
nowhere.
of day or something.
It could
like
happen.
that.
I could take it to Thanksgiving in Alabama.
There you go.
If I have other
Unless you have something that you're really...
obligation knits that aren't finished yet.
Yeah. They're going to take precedence.
But yeah, I do think like last episode, like our knit collage kind of like, let's bang out a knit collage sweater so we have samples for our knit collage launch, which was also super fun.
Yes, so that was the other thing that has happened in the last few days here. Actually happened on Sunday,
On
right
Sunday.
after the sit in it with Jayla.
Weekend.
It was a very big
It was a big
weekend.
weekend.
Yeah. And it was still 1,000,000 degrees here and pouring.
And pouring rain.
Crazy weather.
Oh god, this weather.
Yeah.
And also it was the first week of school. My children are now finally back full days as opposed to the last minute half days because of the
Was that the
extreme
heat?
heat.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I kind of got it, but I'm also just like, please leave my house. I'm like, I love you so much. Go away.
Yeah,
we need some apart time.
That's one reason that schools start later up here in the Northeast, is because a lot of the buildings are old. They don't have central air conditioning.
Yeah.
It would cost a small fortune.
Oh yeah.
To put central air in all the schools, so they just start later in September.
Yeah.
Solutions.
And generally, it's not too bad. I mean, there's usually always a few days in June that are bad, and then usually a couple in September. But yeah, this was.
It was really
so
hot.
Some of the hottest days of the summer have been in September.
Was.
Yeah, and just because the humidity's been so high and everything.
The humidity was bad too.
Yeah. Did you guys get to the Jazz Fest on Saturday?
Jonathan did. Jonathan took George, our new puppy, to the outskirts of the Jazz Fest for some socialization.
Oh,
nice.
And like popped him full of treats as he saw people.
Yeah.
Because he's just like, associate people with good things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
George is like, I will eat all of your treats. And Ollie went for a little bit too. So that was good.
Okay.
It was so hot and sticky that day, and I knew it was supposed to thunderstorm soon. So by the time I was thinking about going, I looked at the weather. I was like, and then a half hour later, I got an alert on my phone that it had been posted. They had stopped it at that point. So
but then they kicked it back up once the rain came.
It was
a summer shower. It was like
by my house, it poured for like 25 minutes.
That's
it was
a summer shower. So
that's a southern summer shower.
Yes, that's what I mean. Like it's hot. It
was bad. Our driveway was full of water, and we never used to get water in our driveway.
Well, that's like going down to my grandmother's in North Carolina in the mountains. You knew every day it was going to pour between 2:30 and 4:30. Like so at some point in time during that, you're like, okay, it's 3:45, and I hear thunder. I'm going inside by 4:45. You're like, everything will be wet and the sun will be out, but like the humidity kicks down. It's much more pleasant.
Yeah, so that's basically what happened on Saturday.
Yeah.
The kids and I went right at the beginning. I'll put a little
clip.
That
was probably really smart.
Yeah, I'll put a little clip here. So we went at the beginning. I think the way that they schedule things, like the bigger names are like later in the end of the day.
Yeah.
So that was the Montclair State University Jazz Band, which was really cool. They were great. We basically walked the length of the whole thing. There was a lot of local vendors that, like we're celebrating with the town. Rayo's had a big booth with some of their new sauces and samples that the kids loved. They have a new arrabbiata sauce, and they have like a roasted onion garlic sauce. It was good. So the kids had that. There was a lot of shopping. So like clothes boutiques and things like that were clearing out their summer stuff. I got new shorts.
I saw those when I came in. They're very cute. Yeah.
This is from House of Highlights.
Oh,
which
yeah.
I thought was just a salon. It's like they're like right around the corner from me on Glen Ridge Ave.
Oh.
They've got like a whole clothing boutique in there too. So I'm
I
gonna have to check it out more. But yeah, I'm going to be still in summertime in south of France next week, so I figured, I'll just get a few more items for the batch. So so I met the owner. And I think I'm going to take Abby there to practice some curly girl styling things. Yeah. So that would be good. It was fun to be out in the community. I think Eric's highlight was eating meat on a stick.
I mean, is that
for kids? That's usually
highlight?
and especially kids. There's something about
Yeah.
They feel like.
Oh, the Montclair Brewery had a special beer that they had brewed.
Oh, nice.
It was like a Belgian-y ale.
Mm-hmm.
Really yummy.
Mm.
And what else? Oh, yeah. We were there when the downpour happened. But my kids are Camping Scout kids, so they're like,
I'm not. Again, this is why I reinforce my thing of, I wish I had just gone at the beginning. That would have been this. I was doing something else at that point. I don't remember what it was.
Yeah, everybody was like huddled under the awnings, and my kids were splashing in the street, and, like cooking the puddles and the gutters. Yeah, so we just walked home in the rain, which was nice and cool because it had been warm and it feels good.
Did you get any?
Oh, yeah.
We had lightning by us too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Statistically unlikely to hit you.
Yeah, it is.
There are buildings around. When you still your friend.
Yeah,
Sure.
So we got home, everybody took a shower, and we stayed in the rest of the night. I sort of thought about going out later, but it was nice because Teddy got tired, then he took a nap, and everybody was like, sort of chill after being outside in the sun.
Mm-hmm.
That's
It
good.
was a pleasant afternoon.
Yeah, you kind of need that. I mean, sometimes you just need that,
Yeah.
cool down. Ollie was, it's funny because we were on our back porch and it started pouring and Ollie was like, I'm going to take a shower and ran into the rain and just
Oh,
hung out there. And I was like, okay, but you actually need to take a shower.
Now you just have to take a shower with
said
soap.
the same
With
thing
soap,
on the way
shampoo.
home.
I was
all of that
like,
good
We
stuff.
have a shower now.
And I'm
like,
like,
Doesn't quite.
there's
count.
no soap or shampoo here.
there's,
kid.
Yeah.
it's worse
Sorry
when
about
you
that.
start it.
Yeah.
Um, all the sweat from before is now fused to your body.
Exactly. Now it's just you've just been rinsed. That's not enough.
Not even rinsed.
Not even
Mhm.
rinsed.
Like I said, dampened and fused.
Damn it.
Uh,
Confused. So maybe that's the title.
Ew.
There
no,
you go.
No one would click on that.
Yeah, really. It doesn't sound very happy.
So if you're watching, what else is coming up? If you're watching this on the 23rd, when it comes out,
Or 25th, right? Is
25th?
25th?
I think it's the 20. No, the 25th is a Monday because that's when I come back.
That's what it's the newsletter. That's
Yeah.
what we were talking about earlier. Yes, 23rd.
The
Amanda is
23rd.
correct.
If you're watching this on the 23rd, when your notification went
Yes,
off
'cause you have
you're
said-
subscribed and have your
And
notifications
you
on.
have the little alarm bell.
Yes. Then you're already in the midst of the Upper Montclair sidewalk sale,
That's right.
which is going on today. And that's always fun too. Yeah, so all the shops in Upper Montclair, they close off
Mhm.
Valley Road, and there's it's just a lot of fun.
Mhm.
And similar to the Waldo event here, right?
Yeah.
You get to see shops that you otherwise normally wouldn't
Yeah.
see.
Yeah.
So,
I hope they
I
do
love
start a
those.
Watchdog Plaza Merchants Association soon. There's so many more stores here than even when we came. I feel like it's
yeah.
more lively.
Oh yeah, no, there's
know.
definitely more.
Yeah, yeah. So there used to
You
be
could
one,
share
but the
it,
guy.
Kathleen.
Yeah, in my spare time.
Yeah.
that's why there's not one.
Exactly.
Copious.
But all the
Copious
other
free
parts
time.
of town have them. I don't know how. I don't know. Whatever. Well, the Bloomfield Avenue is like a paid position. It's
Right.
the
Yeah, no,
business
that's
improvement
the
district.
the bid.
Yeah, and I know if I go around and talk to people, they're going to say the same thing. You can share it, Kathleen.
Yeah, that sounds great. You do it.
Exactly.
Oh,
Which is
no,
why I
right.
am
That's
not
how I
stepping
became a
up.
Girl Scout leader.
Yeah.
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 I can totally see that.
So yeah, I'm trying to think what else is happening because, like we said, it is for us. It's far in the future when this is coming out, but it will be here before we know it. I don't know of anything else. Hopefully by then the weather has turned a lot cooler.
I
Right?
hope so.
I sure hope so. I feel pretty melty.
I was
still.
looking ahead towards the end of next week, and it looks like it's going to start dipping.
Yeah.
Like right
High
before-
in the 70s.
at the end of this week, which would be a week ago for you guys.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to go to South Africa, which is hot. So
You know,
I'm
it's-
just not going to get unused to this.
It's so sticky now that even my linen yarn is sticking to my hands. I
Oh
think
my
I need to go get. I'm gonna run and get a yarn bowl because I just can tell I'm gonna pull this on the floor.
Oh yeah.
But
No, I understand that. Okay, so let's talk your finished object.
so I do have a finished object, and actually it was. No, I finished it. Yeah, I finished it actually after 2 episodes ago. I went home that day and I did the rest of my I-cord. I will put down my knitting so I can show you my.
Yes.
My I
Show
cord.
and tell.
So last 2 episodes ago, we were talking about what I was going to do with the bottom. I did decide to do a split hem. I did.
Oh.
Isn't that cute?
I like
so I did. So this last panel is a little bit longer than the others, believe it or not. It's so funny how it really fools your eye. But I made it 2 rows longer, so I think that's 12 and the others are 10. Yeah, because they were 12 including the 2 rounds of cream.
Yep.
And then I did like a little notch on the split hem just so that it wouldn't be...
I like it.
Isn't that fun?
Super cute.
It's, you know, I definitely winged it,
I think
but it
you
was...
need to go up and show the split hem detail because it's really...
Thank you.
It looks really nice with the I-cord.
Yeah.
And also, that is which pattern? That's the Rockety?
Rockety DK by Tanis Lavallee. And so, I'm gonna have to really pull it up. So yeah, I did a little, I went up, I don't know, I just kind of made a little bit of I-cord on the bottom, and then I left 6 stitches, or no, I guess actually 4 stitches unworked, and then I joined the I-cord to there and went across and went back down the other way.
Nice.
So, yeah, it was one of those things, sometimes I feel like you have to let things marinate a little bit. You know, I knew the last time I was here with it. Hold on, I'm sorry. I shouldn't be talking while I'm...
It's hard. You're going to hear us go, it's like the Doppler effect in action.
As I'm walking,
all the way
around
around.
this place.
Be like,
You're right.
So what were you saying?
So I was saying sometimes you need to let things marinate a little bit. I was the last time, 2 episodes ago when I had this last and it was done except for the I-cord, except for the hem. I really didn't know what I wanted to do with it, you know, and I had other kind of deadline knitting, and we all knew we were going to be wearing our knit collage in the following episode, so I didn't really worry about figuring this out, but then I did actually sit down and work on it, and I'm really happy with it.
I like it.
And then I blocked it yesterday.
Yeah.
It was
And I really like the
just in time manufacturing.
Yes, just in time.
Whoops. Yeah, it's getting a little low here, but that's okay. I need this on this, again, sticky day. My mascot. So this is the LRA Denim DK, which we are down to like 1 basket of.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
I
we've sold a lot of it.
DK.
Yeah. But, and I'm so happy with the stripe pattern and everything. The usual Rockety is 6 rows of one color, 6 rows of another. And without even trying, I wound up with still like a repeat of 12 rows. So there's something about the proportion of this with the DK that I think looks good with that repeat of 12 rows.
I wonder if it's like part of that Fibonacci sequence,
I wonder,
like the golden ratio and all of that fun stuff.
Yeah. So anyhow, this is summer sweater number 4, I guess. I should do, maybe I'll take a picture and send you all my summer sweaters. How about that?
Yeah.
Pull out my summer sweaters
Make 9
of this year.
Yeah, you really did your summer make 4.
Make 4. Well, make 5. I'm working. Actually, this is number 5.
Oh, that's true.
There's 6 up there, too.
I know, but that's not a summer sweater.
It's not a summer sweater.
It's a sweater I made in the summer, but it is most certainly not a summer sweater. That's my pixelated Cardi.
It's a summer sweater.
It's my Arctic sweater.
Or Australia. Or it's a July sweater in Australia or Argentina. Or something like that.
Yeah. So, again, because we really had such a short time between tapings and what a busy week it was, between events at the store and everything else. Yeah, it was the only reason this is done now is because it really was done before the last episode, and then I finally blocked it.
But that counts.
And I blocked it. I soaked it for 20 minutes. I usually use a basin in my kitchen sink, and I pour out as much water as possible. I brought it down, I put my machine on gentle cycle, I laid it out very nicely around the basket and spun as much water out as possible. It was inside out for all of this, and then I threw it in the dryer on low, checked it every 15 minutes, and it took about 45 minutes to fully dry.
Nice. Yeah.
And I just kept checking on it to make sure it wasn't getting fuzzy. Doesn't it look perfect? Look at it.
I think it looks perfect. It doesn't look fuzzy at all.
And look how it really evened out the stitches. I mean, they weren't bad, but they definitely, plant fibers is really easy to have a little unevenness.
Oh, yeah, because they don't have any spring back.
Yeah,
wool,
exactly.
And even alpaca and everything else has a bit more of like a bounce back. There's a little bit of elasticity. So when you yank on it when you're making your stitches, it bounces back. And cotton just sits there.
Oh, yeah.
And you're like...
And sometimes fights you.
And you're like, bounce back. And it's like,
it says, no, I will not.
I'm not going to do that until you block me. And you're like, all right, fine.
Yeah, but it's, a good long soak, really, kind of squishing it around in there. It definitely helps even out the fabric.
Yeah, for sure.
So I'm really happy with it.
Yay!
With another. Oh, yeah, and I did go grab a yarn bowl while we were off camera for a minute. This is one of Jen's yarn bowls that she makes for the store, and her weekly pottery session. So
It's true. I take
They're really
lessons
fun.
at Montclair Art Museum, the Yard School of Art.
So does Abby. She's been doing it for 2 years. But now Eric just got a spot.
Nice.
He's doing
Nice.
pottery this fall as well. So
Nice.
Their kids' classes and their kids' program is fantastic. Their adult program is also fantastic. I've been doing it for probably over 10 years.
they fill up super fast.
So
fast.
I got so lucky. I happened to refresh my email like a minute and a half after they sent out the kids registration.
Nice. So you're like, boop.
So
Very
I got
lucky.
them both in.
Yeah.
That's hard. That is hard to do.
Yeah, really.
That is super hard to do. So I throw once a week. And basically, I also have a wheel at home, but I don't have kiln at home because I'm afraid of burning the house down.
Can you bring the things you make at home to be fired there?
Not officially, no.
Mhm.
But it's good to practice, and I use the reclaimed clay, and
Cool.
I can also take bisqueware home to work on, or I can take leather hard stuff home to trim, which makes it easier. But yeah, so I do yarn bowls, and I also do regular bowls and mugs, and all kind. I like functional wear.
Yeah.
Your bowls are like the best ramen bowls. I have 2.
Thank you.
So
Nice. Yeah, and I use the ones that Jen has gifted me as serving bowls, like for veggies and things. Like when we've got 2 or 3 people, it's like the perfect size veggie bowl. Yeah.
It's the perfect ramen bowl for just me.
You're like, or I'll just eat the ramen.
Yeah.
I know, it's so funny because basically now all of our bowls at home are my bowls, and all of our mugs are pretty much my mugs. And then occasionally I'll be like, oh, I'm tired of this one. And I'm like, this one is going into the gift rotation. Or like this one is going to my mom's or whatever. I'm like, I'm just gonna rotate it through. And some of them just like the better ones actually start in a gift rotation. Where I'm like, here you go.
Yeah.
This one was good from the beginning. But yeah, so we have a bunch of my yarn bowls here. Some of them have the piercings. We have some that are solid, and we also have wood yarn bowls from another local artisan whose name I can't
Is it
remember.
Jim or something?
No.
It's Shirley's husband.
Stu.
Stu. There it is.
They're
Yeah,
beautiful.
I think, do we still have like one of the cheese boards and...
Yeah, I think we do. Actually, I think they're down with like the holiday stuff because it's just we
They're
don't have enough
perfect
room to
gifty.
display everything all the time.
And
Yeah.
there are wooden yarn bowls that are mass produced online. And I think until you touch his bowls, you don't understand what the difference is.
So
And also,
It
he
is
uses
so-
the most beautiful woods. I mean, they're really just
amazingly crafted. Like,
Yeah.
Actually,
so
I
much
think
time
at this point
taken
we
into
need to put a picture in of these
I
because
will put a picture of of all of these, and they're not available online because all of them are one of a kind.
Yeah.
We can't photograph all of them and maintain that. So,
Yeah.
but you can always send us an email. We can do like a
call the
Zoom
store,
session. If
whatever,
that's something
exactly.
you're interested in.
Yep, for sure. That's the best way to do it.
Yeah.
We did a couple of Zoom things when Shayla was here too.
Yeah.
When we had our
Yeah.
shopping event because it happened to be on a Friday. There were people who just couldn't make it, and so that was really nice. A couple of people kind of bought the ticket for the first hour, so they'd get pick of a lot of the best pick of the items and the free set of
stitch markers.
special stitch markers, and Seisha Zoomed with one of them, and I talked with somebody else later, so that was nice.
Technology, man.
Yeah, it's fun. It's always good to think about like working in different ways. Like what can you?
Yeah. Well, now we can. Which is
Now we
nice.
can. Which
Exactly. Take advantage of all those things.
makes it a bit easier.
Oh my goodness! I
So-
remember when I was first interviewing au pairs in 2004, and you could only talk on the phone.
Oh wow!
It was so hard,
Yeah.
and with different languages. And now
Yeah.
you can Skype or Zoom or FaceTime. Or
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, it makes a big difference.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Mhm.
So we should talk now since we only had one person who hadn't finished object. Well, you should talk about what you're wearing.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Sure.
Good.
Yeah.
Point. Good point.
With my shorts. Well, it's like little skirts from
So cute.
House of Highlights. I'm wearing my Mino Pullover vest by Sylvia Watts-Cherry. So you've seen this style before with a long sleeve shirt, but it works as well as like a sleeveless tee.
Yeah.
So
Super cute.
I'm wearing it today. It is, of course, stranded color work for the whole thing, so I would not recommend it for like a 90-degree day because it's 2 layers of wool. But for me today, it's fine. It's only in the low 80s today. So no problem.
Just very sticky still.
It's just sticky. I mean, cooler.
Yeah.
Good.
But I love this. Oh my goodness. And we have so many new fingering weight yarns. This would look amazing.
Oh,
We
yes.
do. And actually, we do still have a tiny bit left of Spring Street, which is what it's made in.
Yeah.
The North Light.
Yeah,
so,
this is in the North Light Spring Street, which is no
So
longer...
you couldn't do those colors, but you could
Right.
do, we definitely have enough of some of the other colors that if you wanted to pick a different background
Yeah.
and so on.
And there's actually little pops of white in here. And the
Mhm.
white is Allegria because it's only a little bit, and that's what was in my stash.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. I didn't even realize that.
Fingering weight.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I was thinking, I didn't think of this at the time, but do you know what would be really cool is to use a boucle yarn for that.
Oh, for the little
To give a little
gloss.
texture to those.
Texturing.
That would be really nice.
I
Yeah.
think that would be super cute in cricket.
That would be so
The
sweet in
Kelborn,
cricket. Oh, I love that.
Kelborn Woolens cricket,
What
which
a great
is
idea.
a Irish tweed.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Fingering weight to sport weight yarn. I think that would
Mhm.
be so cute and
Yeah.
very like, I don't know, like rusticy, but like soft.
Really
rusticy.
nice.
Because
Yeah.
cricket's hand is like that of Lucky Tweed, which is
Yeah.
delicious.
So soft.
Like it
Buttery.
looks rusticy and like
But it feels buttery.
Very
It's
British.
amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
feels very British
And,
or Irish or both.
I learned how to knit colorwork flat with this one, so I
Yeah.
actually got to the sleeve divide because the whole bottom is bottom up.
Mhm.
The whole bottom was knit in the round colorwork, no problem. Then I chickened out on the sleeve divide and let it sit there for like 3 or 4 months.
You were letting it marinate.
Yeah, out of fear.
Aw.
But then I actually took it on vacation, and I disciplined myself on a lot of vacations. I bring only one project, so that's the only thing I have to work on.
Yeah.
It's one way to do it, definitely.
So I brought this on a trip to Rhode Island, and that was the only thing I worked on, and it wasn't so hard. After like 3 rows, it
Yeah.
was like, oh.
Oh, you're fine.
I've got a project you'll hear later about something like that. Yeah. I've been leaving sit for longer than I intended, but I worked on it this morning, and it's like, yeah, I'll bang this out this afternoon.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I love, there was one, I mean, first off, I still have one cardigan that I don't have the sleeves done, and that's like 5 years. But there was one cardigan that was sitting on my desk for seriously like almost a year. And all it needed was like, I had already done one button band, and I had already done the button band with the buttonholes. All I needed
Yeah, the
was
easy
the
one.
easy button band. Just pick up and do 5 rows. And it was like DK weight.
Wow.
It wasn't
Oh,
didn't
yeah.
take long. It was
Yeah.
maybe like an hour's worth of work.
Wow.
And then sew on the buttons, which, you know, that would take
That's 5 months of work.
that's another 5 months of work for like
exactly.
your 5 minutes. Which is why,
But
yeah. So that's why I was so proud that I actually sewed the buttons onto my plaid party Cardi, the knit collage one, because I was like, if I don't do it now, it will be 6 months.
Amanda, do you want to show it? Do you want to bring it up and show
Sure.
it with the buttons? I think it really it's so perfect. You know the way sometimes things just really sing.
Yeah.
And I think this is one of those things.
Yeah.
So Jen does have a finished object. She put
I
the
do
buttons
have a
on.
finished object, but you saw it
You
last
saw it last time.
But now the ends are woven in and the buttons are done.
Yeah.
I still only have about 50% of my ends woven in on that sweater. I think it's going to stay that way.
Ooh, we should talk about the ends
Yes.
on the knit collage because
They emailed us and said actually one very helpful viewer talked
so
about
helpful.
not I'm just gonna throw this up here for now. We'll fix it later.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
About blocking. Knit collage
yeah.
definitely recommends steam blocking as opposed to wet blocking. Yeah, I attached my swatch to our daisy chain basket over there, but I was mentioning last episode how it took 3 days for my swatch to dry.
Yeah.
And it is such bulky yarn that they really don't recommend wet blocking. And I do steam blocking for a lot of things anyway, so that was what I did before I did my edgings. The top of it definitely still needs to be steam blocked. I'll probably take it home with me today and do that.
I ended up steam blocking mine. I think that if I had done, my house gets so dry in winter, right? I think that if I had made this in like January,
a different time of the year,
right?
Absolutely.
Where I've got
Mine
the
is
heat
the same.
cranking,
Yep.
and my house is like a freaking desert. It would probably dry pretty quickly.
Yeah.
But I was like, because it was 90 million degrees.
And 95%
And
humidity.
95%.
95%
We're walking
humidity.
Rain every other day.
I was like, you know what? Steam blocking seems just fine.
Yeah.
And then also, didn't someone mention, was it Nicolaj also that had contacted us about one of the best ways they have to deal with ends in their sweater? Like, I'm following Amanda's trick of like fraying it, and kind of like patting it down. They do
And
a
then
little needle felting
it. Yep.
to just like stick it in.
Yeah,
Right.
just to fix that final little tail.
Yeah.
Because it is such bulky yarn that, whatever tail pop, it is going to pop out just because of the size of the tail. But if you do a little bit of needle felting, it'll kind of really affix it, and you won't have those ends popping out all the time.
Yes, exactly.
So, yeah, I could do that later as
Or you
well.
can just leave your ends 5 inches along the middle of your sleeves and nobody's ever going to see it.
Right.
Well, if they're in the sleeves, that's fine. Yeah, exactly.
You'll be the only one who knows.
The beauty of a pullover.
Right.
Another
All the
thing I saw with mine, with the pixelated, I think I might have seen some podcast where somebody had made it, and maybe it was even on Ravelry, just looking at pictures. I didn't do any buttons on mine, and I don't want to, but one thing, if you ever do want it attached, if you run a little scarf through the top, I mean, the holes are so big. You could run a scarf or a ribbon. I could even do a ribbon to like.
Do you know what? That would
attach
also
it.
look really good with the
jewels.
jewel.
A jewel closure.
Closure.
Yeah.
The jewel closures are these really cool, like, buttons or clips that it's got a metal post that you unscrew the back of, and you just pop it through the fabric.
Yeah.
And then you screw the back on. So you can add a button, like,
Anywhere.
it's not permanent or
Yeah.
anywhere. You
Yeah.
can take a scarf
It's
and make it into
movable.
a cowl.
Yeah.
Like, they're so cute.
They're all
We need to do a restock on them soon. We do have some here, but they've got so many new things now. I've seen.
Oh yeah, they've got.
I've left a
really
couple
fun
of her
new things.
emails in
good.
our file for us to discuss.
Yeah.
Next time we're all together.
It'd
When,
be nice
when
to
Amanda's
get
not in France.
Yeah, it'd be good to get those in before the holidays. But something
Yes.
like that, you look at, and they're all handmade, and the metal work is so nice.
Mhm.
They're a little
Beautiful
pricey,
quality.
but like Jen was saying,
They
you
last
get
forever.
one,
you know.
and you move it from sweater to sweater.
Oh,
to
exactly.
sweater.
It's not.
Right.
It's
So
not like it's
not an
tied to
investment
one
for
garment.
one-
You
Yeah.
absolutely.
It's almost
and,
like a piece of jewelry, right?
Yeah,
You can wear it,
exactly.
Oh, it totally is.
Yeah.
every
Yeah, there's only one. There's one sweater that I just have it left on, but most of them that I have, I use with multiple pieces.
Yeah, I use
Yeah.
I use them with multiple pieces, and sometimes I'm just like, well, you know what? I want to use this on. I want to make this shawl into a cowl.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So I'm going to wrap it and then poke the button through all the layers and attach it and whatever. It's totally fine.
Yeah,
It's
on
great.
my my Magnolia Cardi is where I have one that it just lives on there because I didn't do buttonholes on that one either, and it's just the perfect thing for that.
Yeah.
But I certainly could move it to something else if I wanted to, but I love the scale of it for that. That's one of the smaller ones.
Yeah.
A lot of them are kind of nice and chunky. They're like statement pieces.
Yeah, they're both, and that's also handy because then you don't have to deal with buttonholes
Yeah,
Exactly. Yeah.
it's really nice.
and figuring out the placement of the buttonholes, which is like, oh,
So we probably should start talking about works in progress.
yes,
You
let's talk
think?
about whips. All right, who wants to go first?
don't
Let's
you
go,
start?
Amanda. You
I'll
started. You
start.
were talking.
Yeah, okay. I am working on my Gib II, which is my partner's Rhinebeck sweater. I'm in full Rhinebeck sweater mode at this point.
Yeah.
So I have, let's see, I'm going to wear my, and I'll be there, I'm driving in up Thursday, so I'll be there all day Friday at both Indian Tangled and Woolfolk and Rhinebeck both Saturday and Sunday. It's going to be a whole thing. My FOMO from last year is going to be sated.
Yep.
I was going to say you're going to feel so.
It's going to be my
better.
FOMO year, which is fine.
Yeah. But I plan to take plenty of footage, things like that. The producers of like Indian Tangled and Woolfolk are like, you can't sit there and record for like 45 minutes, but you can do, like 15, 20 second, 30 second like clips to do a montage for like our kind of channel. And so then I can voice over for you and tell you all about the things I see there, the people I meet, and all that kind of thing. It'll be a lot of fun.
That'll be fun.
But since I'm there for 3 days, I'm trying to get some sweaters done for 3 days. Now, I haven't been to Rhinebeck since 2018.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's been a while. It's been a minute. So, I've got plenty of sweaters that I've made since 2018 that I could always pull out if I need one for another day.
But it's always fun to have something new and shiny.
It's fun. My partner's going with me for the first time, so he's getting a sweater too.
Yay!
That I've been working on since like January, but with other things, obviously.
You've been rotating,
but this is gonna finish this week.
So great.
Yay! Finish this week.
Gib II. So my goal is to finish his sweater before we go to France, and you can see like it's almost done.
Yeah.
That's the second sleeve.
Oh my gosh, you are so
close.
You might be able to finish that today,
That's what I
depending
was
on your
thinking.
schedule.
Yeah, I know. Like I literally like have, that much of the sleeve left to do.
That's great.
Yeah,
I finished.
You might finish during the podcast.
Well, it's possible.
Let's see how long we go.
I was watching Nitty Natty's podcast yesterday and finished a good chunk of this. Yeah, and that's sort of like I don't know. I just didn't feel like crocheting yesterday on the blanket because I'd done 2.5 rows the day before. I burned myself out.
Yeah.
So,
Well, you had already done your row a day.
right, but
So
I
you were
was
ahead.
I was backlogged. I needed from the weekend.
Oh, okay.
I needed to
You
catch
needed
up.
to catch up.
Yeah, so I had done 2.5. So now I just have 1.5 to do today, which we'll get done.
Yeah.
But so this is not going to France with me because it's going to be done
Yes.
Yeah.
for the weekend.
And that would be something really bulky to take with you, where you've got so little left to do
Yes.
on it. That would.
And
be
it's
fun.
going to be warm, so he's not taking it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's one thing if you take it, if you're like going on a ski trip and you take it and you're like, I'll finish it and then you can wear it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's not the case.
No.
So this is going to get done this week. This will be a finished object next time. Andrea Mowry's Gib II. I'm making this in Northlight Fibers Atlantic in the spruce colorway, which I was looking for my next whip. I was looking for a skein of yarn, which I know exists somewhere in a house somewhere. I have 2 more skeins somewhere. I could not find it. I tore apart everything I could think of. I went through all my stash.
It'll show up one day.
I
Probably
found
right after you finish the sweater.
I found the skein of spruce that I had misplaced.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good.
But I didn't find that yarn. So, I'm surprised we have some sweater quantities of the Northlight Atlantic.
We do. There are a few colors left.
It's
Yeah.
still there. Yeah, I suspect those will go during our birthday sale.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
for sure. Which we
Which-
should mention when our birthday sale is going to be.
Yeah, so that's going to be in store. Our birthday, we opened Yarnia on like September 27th?
Yep.
5th, maybe.
5th?
Something like
I
that.
want to say
something
the 7th. I think
Maybe
we
it
were
was
around
the
the 27th.
Maybe it was.
Um,
It's right around my wedding anniversary. That I remember, and that's the 21st.
yeah,
Anyway, yeah, end of September.
close to there. Yeah, so,
Depending on what's going on, we either do end of September or October for our birthday sale.
and since I'm not going to be here.
Yeah, this year October definitely made sense.
Yeah, so we're starting October 1st, right? I saw
Yep.
that Sunday.
Yes.
1st through the 8th.
Yeah, 1st to the 8th, and we're doing sort of a sequenced birthday sale. We don't do a lot of sales. We basically do 2.
A
The
year.
birthday sale
Yeah.
and the wool walk.
We'll walk.
Yep.
Yep.
In the spring.
Mhm.
And the wool walk is only in store and with the passport, because
Mhm.
that's then the rules.
Yep. Not our rules. Overall
It's
rules.
not our rules. That's the
That's what it is.
the wool walk rules. But the birthday sale, we get to make the rules. So the first week is in store. So if you're local or traveling through the New York metro area
Yeah.
and are in northern New Jersey, you can stop by and see all the things for the birthday sale, which will be a lot. And then the next week will be online.
Yes.
So then we'll have our sales section will
Explode.
Absolutely.
For
Yep.
you.
yeah,
Yep.
we'll have a big birthday party right at a good time of year. I think we opened at a good time of year.
I think
We really
opened at
did.
a good
We
time
did.
of year
Yeah.
too.
So, so that's coming up. The I guess the in-store one will just be wrapping up on our next podcast, and the online one we'll have a lot more information about.
Yeah.
Yeah. So stay tuned to the newsletter because that's what
Yes.
and Instagram obviously. If you don't get the newsletter, sign up on our website because that's where you're going to hear about all the fun details, what's going to be on sale, what we're going to have, hours, etc., any kind of fun stuff. So yeah, that's where we announce it first.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that's a good whip. What other whips do you have?
I'll do a quick show and tell, which obviously I've only worked on this a week and not 2 weeks, so there isn't as much progress. But
what did you do with your row that had the extra stitches? Did you wind up leaving it or taking it out?
it actually was the last side.
Oh, how lucky! That's great. So it's easy
I
to just
took it
undo
out.
that one row.
Yes,
Beautiful.
and fixed
Very
it.
nice.
Thank
goodness. I was just looking at my blanket backwards when I was sitting here during the podcast. Thank goodness. So yes, I took it out and fixed it.
All right.
Christ,
I know you hate to pull out a whole row with that many stitches,
God.
right? But you gotta see what's gonna bother you.
So, yeah, and I'm in the, like I said, I'm in the middle of a row here. Actually, it's not half. Okay, I've got like almost 2 full rounds to do. I really just decided yesterday I wanted to knit instead of crochet, so that's what I did.
But what's your goal for finishing this too? Because she's not due till January.
I know, but I still have to do a coming home outfit.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So I really want to finish this middle of October so I can do a month till Thanksgiving, because you never know if it's going to come early. So I'd like to have this wrapped up.
And have you talked with her to pick yarn and a pattern and stuff, or not yet?
Yes, I have. We need to do it in order.
Nice. We do. Cool.
Yeah, I told her she's the daughter of a yarn spinner.
Yeah,
so
she just pick whatever she wants.
I gave her some pattern options. I wasn't going to do fingering weight. It's not my own baby. So I don't.
That's a good priority,
rule of thumb.
and also winter baby, right? Like
yeah, exactly.
But, I mean, to be fair, Teddy was a winter baby too. He was a December baby, and I made him the fingering weight fleck. No fleck.
Yeah.
What was it? It was Woolfolk fingering weight.
Oh, the snow.
Snow.
So
Yes, the whole.
That was
thing.
beautiful. Yeah.
Okay.
Marled fingering weight yarn. So pretty.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Teddy's coming home outfit was. I actually really liked Charlie's too. His was a onesie because he was an end of May baby, and so it was
I love that
cooler.
one too.
Yeah,
the Allegoria.
that was beautiful.
So I'll put some pictures.
And whose was the fennel garn?
The phenol was Teddy's.
But it wasn't coming home. It was
No,
just
I had a whole. If y'all remember, you can go back to like episode, I want to say, 450-ish, and see some of the baby knits because that was right at the end of COVID times.
Yeah.
But I have a picture when I knew it was a boy. I curated a whole selection of yarns that I wanted to knit outfits in. So there was the snow for the coming home outfit, the cherished for a blanket, the
all the blues. I remember that.
the Cashmerino Sport. For an outfit, right? The colors of that of the oh my goodness, words.
It's hard.
You just
Some days
said
words
it.
are hard.
The
phenol garn.
The phenol garn. Yeah, the colors of the phenol garn are so pretty. So I want to
maybe Catherine's baby could borrow the phenol garn outfit for a little while. That would be so cute for pictures.
Yeah, but it's a girl.
I know, but
Still.
And that's
Everybody
very-
loves
it's
blue.
navy. It's cute. I love it. It's just such a cute thing. It's like you love to see it actually on a baby.
Yeah.
You know.
I
Actually, I'm gonna go grab it because we're talking about it. It's really not fair. We all know what it looks like.
Well, I was gonna put pictures in of all these things.
Wow.
But
I'll save you 2 minutes, Amanda.
I have a really cute picture of Teddy.
Well, you can put the picture in anyway.
I will put the picture in anyway because
You
it's
can put
really,
the
really
picture
cute.
in anyway.
I mean,
People
it is
ask
so...
all the time. About
Look at
this
how
one.
cute that is.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
This one's really cute.
So cute. Probably, I just wanted to see it again in person.
I know. It is adorable.
Yeah, I made this one, and I don't even remember the name of it right now off the top of my head, but I'll put the name down here.
So cute.
Yay! I love this one. And some of these colors are actually from my Demyakalopa.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, right.
The gray is and the white is.
Yeah.
Right in the way.
Yeah.
I think you're right.
I really love this one. That's nice. And it's a rustic-y wool, but trust me, Norwegian babies everywhere are in that wool. It's just fine.
And they're fine. Over there for now.
It gets them used to, like, not being quite so.
Too coddled.
Yeah, too coddled, right?
Delicate and dainty. They're warm. More important.
Yes, warmth is important.
Well, and I put a onesie under it, so.
Yeah, I mean, they're fine.
Okay.
They would let you know if they weren't.
Yeah, they do. So this is the status. So you can see how last week I had just the beginning of these wavy things, and now they're all done. We've got some puff stitches in here, some cluster stitches, and half doubles on the side, on the edge, and then you can see I've just started this row. There's some back post going on here, and in between each one there's going to be some popcorns, and that's what's going to end up evening out this back into a square eventually. Yeah,
Yes. How big is it going to be all told? Oh, I love that. I love the little scallies.
It's about 45 by 45, I think.
That's a good size.
Yeah, it's good size. It's a good toddler bed size, if you think.
Yeah.
Nice.
So,
I mean, Ollie still he wants his baby blanket, mine was not nearly like that. Mine was oh crap, I didn't make you a baby blanket. I'm going to hold 3 sport weight yarns together and knit a corner to corner blanket and then do a crochet edging. Yay! But it's nice and heavy, and he still wants it on the foot of his bed every night. So,
nice.
On it.
I mean, Eric and Charlie and Teddy all still have their blankets. Charlie got my first crochet project. We'll talk about that later. And then Teddy got not my first crochet project. He got the Atlanticus by Hooked on Sunshine.
Yeah.
So pretty.
I didn't make Haley a blanket when she was born. Number one, I really wasn't knitting or crocheting at that point. And number two, she got like 5 blankets at the baby shower. I got a whole bunch of handmade things by my mom and aunts and different family members.
I wasn't really knitting or crocheting when Abby was born, but she got the unicorn blanket later. So.
Yes. Well, it's funny. I was thinking, should I make Haley one? Haley's made herself like 3 blankets and is working for it. It's like I no longer need to.
You don't need to.
Need to make Haley.
She's got
it covered. Her many sweaters that she can still wear because she's kind of the same size as she was when I started making them. And she also, remember when we first opened, she was wearing the toddler. Yes. She put on the toddler sweater.
Yes.
Well, because it's like
she's a tiny little
it's a look. It's a look.
Youth, man. Youth.
Crazy. She was also in high school at that point, so that's really
really youth.
I have one more thing.
Yes.
Okay, I am so proud of me. I'm ready to go to France.
Yay!
So, I am going to take my blanket and continue the one a day.
Okay.
I might end up doing more because I'm going to have some days that are sort of downtime while Chad goes to rugby games. Because we're going because he has tickets to the Rugby World Cup. When he got tickets, he was single. So he only has single tickets, which is okay because I know this much about rugby, which is more than this much.
Yeah.
I know this much. I know there's no passing forward. You can only pass backwards.
Pass backwards.
Right? There's a lot of running.
I know nothing about rugby.
Scrum.
Yep.
I know the scrum. That's about the extent
There's
of my
not
rugby
the
knowledge.
helmet thing going on.
No.
That there is in American football. Yeah. And I was in New Zealand in 1994, I think, when New Zealand played South Africa. In the final game of the Rugby World Cup, and that was in South Africa, and that's what the movie Invictus is about.
Yes.
So, but I was in New Zealand at that time.
They were.
And I have got an All Blacks jersey, so I do have an All Blacks jersey, which I don't know. Should I take my All Blacks jersey?
I think you should take your All Blacks jersey.
Oh, actually, I should have asked last time. I need some good knitting podcasts en français.
Oh.
Parce que je ne sais pas le vocabulaire français pour le tricoter. Pour tricoter, oui. Je sais fille, et tricoter, et crochet, et c'est tout. So I need to learn my French vocabulary before knit eat, but I can't find it's a good podcast. It's hard to find. I need to find some good ones. Maybe I'll ask Amy.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Yeah, for sure.
So anyway, my goal for this is to mostly finish my Rhinebeck sweater.
Okay.
Which is Autumn Court by Dragon Horde Yarns.
So pretty.
Dragon Horde Designs is her designer brand, and then Dragon Horde Yarns is her yarn dyeing brand. That's Tristan from Utah. And she's one of the 2 members of the Girls in the Yarn Cafe with her mom, Christy, who is the dyer of Yarn Cafe Creations. I think Christy said that she had a couple of Advents left in her store.
Ooh.
By the way.
Hot tip there.
Yeah. Tristan was out. Christy had a couple a week
So,
ago.
I was going to say, by the time this comes out,
We may not.
Just saying.
yeah,
I mean, worth a check.
Yeah.
6 1/4. I'm just measuring my
Go.
So, this is my, I picked these colors because they are the branding colors of my old company.
Yes.
Where I don't work anymore. And the brilliant marketing designer that picked these colors for the branding isn't there anymore either. But I still love the colors.
Yeah.
Colors.
So
1, 2.
So yeah, I'm really enjoying this, and my goal was to get through this color work on the bottom. There's also color work at the end of the sleeves, but it's at the very end of the sleeves.
Okay.
So like the last 20 rows of the sleeves, there's more color work similar to these here, but it's only over 60 stitches. And this is over 250. So I think if I finish both sleeves up to the color work, then I'll be able to just do the color work in a week when I get home. Right?
Yeah, probably. Because sleeve color work, I feel like, goes pretty quickly.
Pretty fast. Yeah.
I think it'll go fast. And I'm not going to do 4 colors in a row on the sleeves. That was my nemesis. There were 6 rows here that had 4 colors of color work.
That's
You had
so many.
6 rows?
Yeah.
But not
of
all
4
together,
colors?
right? Were they all
Oh, but
together?
it looks so pretty.
Yeah, it's really nice.
It needs a block. I'm hoping it unpuckers when I block it or when I wear it. It's a little puckery.
Steam the heck out of that
What's
thing.
the yarn you're using?
This is Allegria by Mano Still Uruguay.
I think it will block out.
It's a superwash merino nylon.
Yeah.
And they have amazing colors, such clear colors, which is really what I wanted for this sweater. And the machine washable, so that's good too. But yeah, these here with the white, right, you can see is light blue, white, dark green, pink, all in the rows here. And it's a little puckery. I couldn't really catch yarns in between because it would have shown through.
Bulked it up, or...
No, it would show through. So I used more the Eastern European method of always taking the bottom yarn.
Strand.
Yeah, strand to catch my floats, which works pretty nicely. So you can see that's how my floats look. But yeah, even with pulling out and I'm pretty loose with my color work. I mean, and the stitches are even bigger than up here.
I think
It's just so many strands. It's just there's so much yarn
it's just
there
so many strands. I think it'll be okay when it blocks, especially if once you get it wet,
Yeah.
you really just kind of
Stretch it down a
tug
little
tug.
bit.
Excuse me.
And
it's not
so pretty though.
it's not like I don't have enough. It's not like it's too tight because these pink strands aren't disappearing into the green. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you still can
That's
see that
what happens
column.
when your floats are too tight. Those stitches disappear.
They hide.
They sink in.
That's not what I've got going on here.
No.
It's more just bulk of floats that are thick behind.
Yeah. Well, and that's why I think as soon as also because superwash has a tendency to relax and grow a little bit in
Yes, it
water,
does.
and that is you're going to use that to your advantage.
That happened with my flower buds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that was cashmerino, but I'll be a cash merino.
Still
Yeah.
superwash though.
It's still super.
Yeah, it grew a little bit, which was fine. But
If you just know going in, then you're fine.
But I think I have like 3 more rows of plain stockinette here, then 2x2 ribbing with twisted ribbing, 2x2 twisted rib,
Nice.
which is the same thing that's up here on the top,
Oh, pretty. I like it.
Very pretty. Yeah.
right? And then sleeves. So that's what I'm going to do because all I need is
Yep,
I think
color.
one skein is going to be plenty for the sleeves because I did
Fingering? Yeah.
this all the green in this sweater is one skein so far.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So I'm
That
going
would be
to
fine.
totally be able to just
Really? That's only one?
Yes.
Wow.
I was going to
Pretty
say,
sure.
fingering has a lot of yardage.
And especially those they're like what,
Well, and you
447
have-
or something? Or,
And you have a good chunk of, like,
Or
the
is it
yoke is a
390?
good
Yeah.
chunk of color work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's my cast off.
Is that it's a full ball right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, I just wound it.
Okay. Okay.
Because, yeah, in general, I think it's like body is like a third of the yarn used, and sleeves are like, or no, it's sleeves are like a third of the
Yeah.
yarn used, and body is like 2/3 of the yarn
Mhm.
used.
So if I'm
And
just
they're not full sleeves. They're
No.
they're tapered, right?
They are.
Because that
Oh,
does
yeah.
make a
And you're-
difference.
yeah, oh, yeah. Yeah,
So-
so long as you have decreases in there, you're fine.
so that'll be great. And I thought I'd put my live stitches here on try-it-on tubing so I can try my sleeves on as I go. 'Cause I've already got my
Yay.
try-it-on tubes. So I'm taking this and my Black Pearl Magic see-through CTSA. Nothing to worry about here.
Yeah.
I've got my size 2 for the ribbing, and I have my Flexi Flip 4s to continue on the
Excellent.
sleeves.
Good.
So
My
I have
suggestion.
my new Black Pearl Magic. It's a little
Notions.
Notions box
I love
with
it.
all the opening stitch markers I can find.
I
love
thought you were
it.
giving. Oh no! I thought you were giving the Barbie to Abby, but that was the pink box
I
bag.
gave her the pink box
Yeah.
bag. The Barbie
Yeah.
is mine.
I
It's
didn't.
yours.
I didn't even get one, but she said she's gonna make me one.
Yeah.
The one thing I would
First, before we opened that box bag, I'm like,
You're like,
sometimes
There was no orange one. She's
We
like,
have-
I know, Kathleen, you really want an orange one, right? I was like, I do.
we have the heads up on it. Are you flying direct to France?
yes.
Okay,
Yes.
I was going to say, because Heathrow is often
Oh, they are kind of be mean about needles.
particular about needles, but I've had success, especially, I mean, I always use interchangeables,
Yeah.
taking the interchangeable tips out and putting them in a pencil case or a makeup
We're
bag.
flying. We're
Or a
flying
makeup
direct.
bag along with, yeah, I mean, like I have
Are
my
they
little
pencil-ish things?
pencil case in my bag is essentially like, you know, eyeliners and
And
Sharpies.
that's
Okay.
even if
needles.
we were flying to London to France is like bloop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
would, and we are taking check luggage,
So you can bring
because
stuff back.
I'm bringing
Yeah.
So this is my going to France, and while in France knitting project. I suspect I'll be done with what I have to do by the end of the week, like before we come home. So I'm actually planning to put this in my checked luggage on the way back,
Mhm.
Nice.
along with about 150 skeins of yarn
Yay.
from Knit Eat, which means I will not be able to use my global entry fast pass to get back in because I will have commercial goods to declare.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
So, yeah, I'm bringing back treats for our Yarnia customers here in the United States, and those I don't know what they're going to be yet,
Yeah.
but
Can't wait to see what you're
Yeah.
gonna get to see.
I know. I'm excited to see. It'll be a fun surprise.
I'll have some. I don't know if we'll do a little special, probably a little special episode on
Oh, we should totally do a
Knit
special.
Eat.
Mhm. That would be fun. Yeah.
And and you'll get to see what the festival is like there. And I'm sure it'll be a delightful vacation, even if you weren't going for Rugby World Cup. I'm going purely as a rugby chaperone.
Yeah.
It just happens to be right the weekend before one of the largest yarn festivals in France. Ta-da!
How well timed.
I
is
know,
that?
it's so perfect. I love that.
It really is.
Serendipity.
So it was incredibly serendipitous. Thank you to Amy for cluing me in on
Yeah,
that.
the heads up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
So it'll be fun. The other thing I'm planning to bring back for all of you participating in the Knit Collage Knit-along, that is this month and next month, I plan to bring back our prize. I also don't know what it's going to be, but I'll curate
Find
a
something
little
really fun.
treats, and you'll get a little taste of knitting.
Yes.
Not the eating part.
Not the eating part, just the knitting part.
Just the knitting part.
Yeah.
Yes, so if you haven't joined our Knit Collage Knit Along, did we actually create the I did not.
I haven't.
We have time. We've got a week and a half now.
By the time you see this, the Ravelry threads will be created, but also the idea is that we are going to make a project with Knit Collage for the month of September and October. Which, let me tell you could probably make 2 to 3 if you wanted to in that time period because it goes so fast.
Oh my goodness. I was planning to not do anything, but I have quite a bit left over of the spun cloud because I just barely broke into it for my sweater. Mm-hmm. The second skein. Mm-hmm. They have a bag that has the spun cloud plus a mini set, and I bet I could do the whole bag.
With your leftovers?
I forget the name of it.
Is it a crochet bag or a knit bag?
Both.
Oh, fun.
Ooh.
Wow.
There's both crochet and knit in that one. But it's super cute. And then I feel like I might do your bag lining trick.
Oh yeah, the bag lining trick. That good trick for this.
Yeah. So I might. It almost seems like a weekend project. I might get sucked into that.
Yeah, it could be.
I have enough leftovers of my knit collage that I can definitely do a hat. And I think I'm going to look at, one of the patterns calls for one set of mini skeins. And I think I might do that with my leftover spun cloud and the leftovers of the mini skeins for mine. But I have to take another look. But it's so cute. Or I might do a matching hat, like the plaid. Yeah. There's a plaid hat too, and I was like, "Ooh, that would be super cute too."
Also, so many people mentioned pillows.
What a great idea!
Oh
exactly.
I was thinking about that too. Gorgeous. That would make the plaid
would be so beautiful as a pillow.
Amazing
that would be
pillow.
So cute.
It would be so cool.
I don't know if I have enough weight for a pillow. I'll have to take a look.
Well, so you could even just get another skein of spun cloud, and I don't know how much you have of your minis, but yeah.
Yeah, I have. It depends on the color for the minis because of the way I did the striping, and I wanted to make sure that my plaids matched on the sleeves. Yeah, because I'm crazy.
No,
because it's a plaid. You gotta match your plaid. Yeah. But yeah, so that's my I'll consider. Let's go to my whips, and I'll consider that my thinking of whips.
Your whip to be.
I have a thinking. I have a thinking of whip.
What's your thinking of whip?
I signed up for something.
Ooh.
Oh, that's what you told me the other day. Yeah,
I don't know those.
Sounds fun.
It doesn't start till January.
Okay,
but I follow the Mercerie, which is an amazing crochet artist designer in UK, and she has a new crochet blanket design. She has, I'll put a couple of pictures of other blankets she's done here. She did homage to the granny square.
That's the one I love. I could see making that at some point.
And then there's a floral one that's similarly amazing. But she has one called Tessalation Nation that's coming out in January. And it's an online course. And it lasts 6 to 8 months.
Does she release an episode a week or something? Is that how she does it?
No, it's not that structured. It's and this is the first time, the blanket's not done yet. Hers isn't done yet, and she sort of designs the class as she does the first,
Got it. As she goes.
As she goes. So it's no guarantee exactly what you'll get.
But if you've seen any of the previous work, it's going to be
beautiful.
It's
going
to be amazing.
You're not concerned.
You can do that when you have such a good.
I feel like my 2024 is so far not super committed.
Okay.
Right? I have a lot of things I'd like to finish. I'd sort of reserved it to knit for myself. Because I've been doing a lot of sweaters for other people, items for other people this year. So I was sort of thinking that next year I'm going to sort of do things for me, and maybe the little kids. But her color theory or color.
Or use of color.
Use of color is amazing.
It's beautiful.
So
and just the interplay of the color and the design, and she takes, you know, existing motifs and just modernizes them in such a beautiful way.
So this one's all on like pentagons and stars like together. But she said like the first month and a half you can expect to like basically color and swatch, and that's it.
All right, which is great. Yeah, I mean,
and she also uses Rowan felted tweed for a lot of her designs. You can use, you know, whatever you like. You need to find a solid color yarn in, say, that Sport to Decay weight that has a lot of colors, like has options,
a big
to like
range,
because you're going to want gradients almost of like different color values, right? You want to have color families and then values within those to talk to each other. So, and felted tweed has that. There's tons of colors.
Totally
So that as I pick my colors, we might have new colors.
We might get more colors with felted tweed.
Yes,
which is fine. We can do.
But if any of you guys are also, you know, going to work on the Mercerie project next year, please let me know. I think it would be super fun to like. I'm not going to schedule like any formal knit or scheduled times, but like.
But if somebody drops in on knit night, which you know,
if someone drops in on knit night, or if we know if as the posts come out, if we want to have our own little Mercerie group, you know, to talk about things or work on it together, you know.
Yeah, that's fun. That's a good idea.
It would be fun because a lot of it is Zoom and not in person, and sometimes it's nice when you have crochet to be like, which hole are you knitting, crocheting in? Where are you?
Like
where are you
support group in person kind of thing, especially when you're tackling something that's so like refined and finessed and detail oriented.
So I'm hoping to finish my Hooked on Grannies this year, which is possible. But if I don't, I know I have January and February next year to sort of finish those.
Yeah, I'll wrap them up.
Yeah, and then the rest of the year is going to be working on this.
That's exciting.
So that will be fun. Yeah, I'm super excited about that. So that's all I have. That's all I have.
Cool. That's awesome. Cool. I'll talk about my ones because I don't have a lot. You've seen me working on this.
Look at this! I love how much you've done.
She
was
love
doing
hats.
the
Hats
tubular
so quick.
when we sat down. You were.
I had finished when I sat down. I was on row 1 of the ribbing.
But when you got here this morning, you had a ball of yarn.
Oh, right? When I got here this morning, I had a ball of yarn and a needle. And I actually hadn't even assembled the needle because these are my interchangeable Shjas, which I love. So, I mean, this is why I love hats. They go so quickly.
So quick.
And also hats that are on size 10s. Go so quickly. So this is the Winter Dreamer hat by Kalura Hudson, While They Play Designs. And it is a super cute cable hat that basically makes like little circles and stuff. And I'm working this in La Bien-Aimée Big Merino in Springtime at Yarnia.
So this is a preview of our La Bien-Aimée that's going to be coming in later.
Yeah. So you guys know this colorway because you've seen it before, but you don't know this yarn because we have not had it before. And it is super delicious. It's like,
so here's the yarn.
So like marshmallowy, but not like poofy. Like it's just lovely to work with.
Do you know what the yardage is?
The yardage is like
70 yards, maybe
70 or 80, something like that.
Yeah. Do you have your label handy?
No.
Okay.
No.
And there's no more of it up here.
Yeah, I don't have it. It's not up here. So I am modifying this pattern ever so slightly because it calls for 8 repeats of the cable pattern of 10 stitches, and I'm doing 7. And I will adjust the decreases accordingly. I know how to do that. It's pretty straightforward. But yeah, so it goes so quickly on the 10s. I love it.
That's a good size. I like
it. Is a good size, right?
It's so pretty.
Like it's such a nice. And I realized I'm like I don't even have my markers here, so I'm using my tail is a little bit long, so I'm just folding it in between my work.
So you kind of keep track of where you're
so I can keep track of where I'm at when, you know, I need to know. I mean, and the cables are pretty easy. It's 1/3 cable.
Nice.
which is nice. It's a very straightforward pattern. It's got a tubular cast on, which I think looks so nice in the chunky yarn.
Yeah.
So I have that, which we'll see how far I go. And then I have my String of Lights socks.
Did anybody else just hear Moana when she said how far I go? Anyway.
You don't want me to sing it, trust me. I have my String of Lights socks that I am working on, which is also LBA, Super Sock in Totoro?
No.
Ponyo?
No.
Howl and Sophie.
Howl and Sophie.
Thank you.
One
And
of those
I am
ones
on the heel flap of my second sock. This is my, bring it around project.
On the go.
Right? Where I'm working on it. That's all I have so far because I really gotta buckle down and think about sweater patterns.
Sweater class, yes.
Sweater class. Because I gotta get that on the schedule. And I think it's going to be color work, and I think it's going to be DK or light worsted.
Nice. Do we have some patterns under consideration?
We always have patterns under consideration. So I have a bundle in my favorites under my Ravelry name is JBO. JBO. And it's sweater class options. And it's basically anytime I see any pattern I think might be good for a class in the future, I just throw it in there.
Yeah.
But I'm looking for color work. I'm looking for some kind of interesting color work that's, something to help build skills. Right? Not just something that maybe could be good for somebody's first color work, but something that could be interesting for somebody who's already done a color work pattern before.
I just had a thought.
Yeah.
You know the way in Neons and Neutrals, the Warble uses fingering in the yoke and worsted in the body, right?
That's an interesting option.
Maybe, I mean, whether it's the Warble itself or you just apply that to something else, that could be
something else. That's a
kind of
really interesting thought.
Because I actually am thinking I want to do that with the Once and Floral. I have that in my queue. And the idea of doing another, I've done a couple of fingering weight sweaters for me over the summer, and it's I don't mind doing it for the yoke, but the whole body,
that's a lot.
It gets boring to me. It gets But I definitely want to do that. So I do think of it as the Warble technique. Now.
It is. It's a really
it's so
great
smart.
technique.
I can't believe. I mean, I don't think anyone's ever done it before. Not that I'm aware.
I've never
encountered
seen it before.
But it's one of those things. Once you hear of it, it makes so much sense. It does. It makes perfect sense. Because then
you got all of the. You can get a lot of
detail,
fine refinement of motif with the smaller gauge yarn.
Yep.
And a more complicated yoke in there, so it's not as graphic. Or I mean, it can be as graphic, but you can get more details and more colors and more lines and stuff. But when it comes time to knitting a fingering weight body where there's nothing going on, you're
I really don't want to be doing 6 stitches to the inch.
The only thing is fingering weight is much cooler.
Yes,
it is. But I'm always cold, so I don't mind a warm sweater.
If you think of it in the fingering weight is half the size of DK weight, which it pretty much is gauge wise, a roundabout, right? As the crow flies. You are doing, when you're doing color work, you have a double layer fabric of fingering weight. So it's the same weight as DK. So you can have a DK weight up here.
Or super bulky in my case.
Or super bulky in your case with 4 strands. So, I mean, if you guys have thoughts I know I've asked this before and I will continue to ask it because I love getting suggestions.
Is there you know what else would be sort of interesting is a drop shoulder?
I hate drop shoulders and I won't make them.
Jen, that's a
they
hard no
are,
for Jen.
If you want a well-fitting, I mean, I understand why people do them.
Yeah.
I understand why
I will probably do a weekender someday.
They are very useful, both in terms of wearing and design. I just hate them on me.
Yeah.
And it's really a personal, I can't wear. If you're bigger and you need to hit a certain amount here, your drop shoulder is going to cut you at the widest part of your arm. And you get all this fabric under here that drives me up the wall. My mother loves a drop shoulder. Loves
Interesting.
it. I don't. But I'm particular. But yeah, so drop shoulder would be a good option to do at some point. If
Well,
I'm
I was
making a
just
sweater
thinking
for
with the
somebody
color
else.
work, because then you could steep the sleeves, which would be fun.
Yeah.
I mean, you could do a set-in sleeve and steep the
You know
sleeve.
what else? What about
You
the
can get-
academic vest? I love
Ooh,
that.
I do love the academic vest.
that's
funny
Maybe a
'cause I-
vest.
Vests are so in right
They
now.
are
Maybe
in
a
right now.
vest.
But it's so funny because I think it was when Jonna was here, when Amy was here. Remember when, Jonna, I've knit together with him and Jonna.
Yes.
We were talking about our fiddle yarn and all the colors and everything, and she was still trying to pick colors for her academic vest, which I've been following her making it. I love it. I have had
It's
that
so
in my
pretty.
favorites for a while since I saw it's
feeling
a skein pattern. And I loved it, but I just think it's got so many possibilities, and you can do the steeking.
You can do the steeking, and also if you ever wanted to do sleeves, you can add sleeves.
You could add sleeves,
You could add
exactly. Yeah, and you
Yeah.
could either add solid sleeves or do the sleeves in pattern.
You could do the sleeves in pattern if you wanted to.
I think I would be lazy and do the sleeves solid, but I think that
I
would
would
also be
do.
cute.
I would do the sleeves solid.
Yeah.
I do like a vest idea. That's an interesting idea. Okay.
I love it.
So that expands now.
Cool.
Now it's like, now I'll
Yay.
have another 100 tabs open on my computer as I'm attempting to make a decision. Meanwhile, the ladies on the virtual knit night make fun of me because I'm like, I've decided! And then the next week I'm like, no.
They're like, sure you have, Jen.
Yeah, Dory's like, no, you haven't decided. I'm
I'm
like,
sure you haven't. It hasn't gone up on the website yet. You haven't decided.
like, until it's up on the website, and then I'm committed.
Yeah.
That's how it works.
Well,
But
cool.
yeah.
Well, that's
Yeah.
an idea. Mm.
That's very cool. I'm just counting my rows.
Yeah, I
1,
also
2,
need to
3,
see
4,
Jen is
5. There we go.
counting rows. This is
Ah,
you're going to see the Amanda
Oh.
how Amanda does
And
sleeves.
I'm
Right.
measuring this on my leg.
I have
the 3 different ways to do things,
Yeah.
right?
I have a stitch marker here with how many decreases. There's a
Mhm.
stitch marker for every decrease attached to the first one.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just lay it with the other one and match the armpits. And
Mhm.
if it's like about where I need to do a decrease,
It's like, all right, I'll
Which
do
it
a
is.
decrease here.
so I'll do a
Very
decrease here.
close enough.
Exactly.
So, wow, we have been
That's
chatting
how
for a
we
while.
We also had a bit of a break when you went to go grab something. So,
Okay,
keep
so-
going.
So was that good for you for whips?
I'm done.
All right, I have a couple of whips.
Okay.
So one is like sort of 2 whips, and I didn't pull this out yet because
I might just finish this sleeve.
yeah, you see, you might.
See, we said
'Cause
so.
we were talking a long time. So last time, yeah, I did show this last time we were here.
Yeah.
This is
Yes.
the Luminous Summer top by Mini Me Knit Designs, and when we were recording last time, I was kind of like, I think the eyelets are too small, it's too variegated a yarn, you're not going to see them anyway.
Right.
I was breaking my own rule of picking a pattern and yarn and saying they were going to work together even though they weren't.
If I say it loud enough, it'll happen.
It'll happen. So I reassessed, a day or 2 later in the store, and I thought Zoe would be a much better choice for that top. So, I've cast it on again. I can, you can either take pictures after or I'll
Oh, I
take one
like
on my
it in
porch.
Zoe.
Well, I showed pictures the last podcast of how they looked.
Mhm.
So that's good.
But I didn't I only started this after the last podcast.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So,
Compare
I'm, redoing this and this is a much tighter gauge than I usually have worked Zoe at before.
Mhm.
But I love it. I mean, Zoe is
Okay.
like a gauge shifter for
It
sure.
really is.
It really is. I've made, 2 or 3 ranunculuses in Zoe at a much bigger gauge, but I'm actually looking forward to seeing like wearing something where it's a tighter gauge. It's still going to be so nice and cool because it's linen and cotton, but it's going to be a little less sheer, which is fine. And one of the things I was hoping to do with this is to have something that's a little bit more variegated, because almost all of my summer tops are solid colors.
Yeah.
I mean, even this one is like color, it's stripes, but
Right.
it's predominantly a color, like no real variegated yarn. So what I was thinking, since this is already in use, and I can't bring it back, maybe I will do a little crochet edging on here around the neck to bring in that color. Do a little on the sleeves, and then if I'm running short on yarn, I might even do like the last couple of inches in this.
Yeah,
Because they really work together.
They work together really
They work together
nicely.
so perfectly. Yeah, Seisha and I were playing, the day I decided I was really going to, do this in a different yarn that was a better match for the gauge, we pulled a bunch of Zoe off the shelf, and this one matches so well.
It
There was
does.
another one that it matched really well with that we only had like 1 ball left of,
Oh,
so I
yeah.
decided not to pick that one. And this is actually a little bit moral too. What color is this one? Let me tell you. This one is white pepper. Yes, white pepper, and the other one was toasted coconut.
I was about to say it's
really,
not toasted coconut.
Yeah, toasted coconut is really pretty.
It's like a pure.
It's quite white.
It's a creamy white. It's a really creamy
pure...
white. We have that like true pure white too, which is sea salt, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they have such great neutrals, the Zoe. So I'm cranking along on this, and this will be my 5th summer sweater, and I will definitely get it done by, I need to get it done by September 21st if I want to consider it a summer sweater. I think I can do that.
I think you can
I think I can do that. I mean, I started this like 2-3 days ago, and this is what's left of the first ball.
Yeah.
You know why? It really is all I've been working on until last night at about midnight when I said,
Let me start something new.
No, well, it's time to get more into fall things because it is September. Even though it's in the 80s today, it'll be in the 70s very soon, like Amanda was saying.
God, I hope so.
And so I pulled out my Black Pearl Magic big ass bag, which I love. I ordered this at Cake Palooza last year.
I love it.
And in it, I have my Ariana cardigan, which is something I started, I don't know, earlier this year. I don't remember exactly when, but I knew I was not going to finish it while it was still cool enough to wear. So I said, okay, it can go on hold for a while. It was also the kind of thing. It's by Amy Christoffers, and it's made of granny squares. So, and I'm using Lucky Tweed, which I started this with Lucky Tweed leftovers, but I'm definitely, I've had to get more
dipping
Lucky
into
Tweed.
some new skeins.
Yes, dipping into some new skeins for sure. So I'm kind of doing a group of 10 granny squares and then putting them aside. So I have 30 granny squares done.
Nice.
I'm not using the gauge of the pattern. Of course I'm not, right? But I figured this is perfect.
We don't need such things.
So I'm going to make the smaller size with the bigger squares, and I've done my math, and it works out perfectly.
Perfect. Great.
So, so I've got 30 squares done, and I need 48 altogether.
You're close.
But what I hadn't done before, and what was the new thing that I started working on this last night, and it was too late and I was too tired, so I continued with it this morning. I now know, which I did not know before. I can't find it in here. It is in here somewhere, I promise.
It's because you have so many already done.
How to make a half a granny square.
Oh no!
I've never needed to do it before, so I didn't know how to do it. I also am really not good with magic rings.
Magic rings are tricky, I find.
And also, I generally don't like them because I feel like they can come apart. But it really did make sense for this because you want it to get as flat as possible.
Yeah.
But, I thought I would finish this while we were talking, but I've been working on my sweater instead. But yeah, it is actually really fun. So I need 14 half granny squares.
Okay.
I will finish these today.
Oh, wow.
And then, I mean, it takes so little time. So then I'll have 30 squares plus all of my halves, and I think I need like 2 quarter squares, which, now that I know how to do this, I think I know how to do that.
You can
extrapolate. So then I'll really be close to being done with all my squares, and then the assembly is going to be something. But like, this is the perfect time to revive it. Yeah. It is September. Yeah. This will be a great like October, November, like wear it as a jacket kind of thing.
Yeah, totally.
And then when it's really cold in the winter, wear it over a turtleneck, even in the store. So so I'm excited to be back onto this.
That'll be fun.
Ariana cardigan.
Good colorway for you.
Yeah, I played with the colors of this a lot until I found an order that I liked. Oh yeah, and here's the one with, this is the way it's going to look at the end with the black edging.
Ooh,
hopefully
pretty.
You can see that. Because I always love granny squares with black. I think it makes them pop so nicely. It's like stained glass.
Uh-huh.
It just has that outline
nice
effect. Exactly. So that is what I'm working on. And
I love it.
I love the big ass bag. It's so fun. So once this is out of here, I'm probably going to move my Battenberg into it because I love being able to have everything in one place. Like it's all in one container. But then within that, I've got a go knit bag with like my active stuff. So if I want to take it with me, I just pull this out. It's got one skein of each color. It's got my pattern.
Oh, nice.
My little thing with my hook. Oh yeah, we need to order more of these too. We need to.
Oh, they're so cute.
It's a little needle minder. We got these from Hawthorne Handmade, I think.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they sold out in no time. And I saw an email that, and this one is a granny square. You can't see it, but it's a granny square.
So it's perfect
So
for you.
it's so perfect. And it's even got orange in it.
It's like I made it for Kathleen.
Yeah.
So what else do you, what other whips do you have?
I have other ones, but they're not as active. This is
Okay.
really what I'm focusing on for now. I'm going to try to get these 2 sweaters done before I really get into anything else. Who knows? Maybe the academic vest.
I know.
We'll see.
We'll
We'll see.
Well, we should definitely hop to what's new in store.
Though, actually, remember we have a new. We were talking. We were texting last night, and we thought that we might add a new segment to our
new
podcast. So, one of our regular viewers asked a question, in response to the last podcast, and it was about, getting started with crochet. So we're piloting a new segment called We Have Opinions. Because
we do.
We do have opinions. And actually I'll give Amanda the name and everything so we can put it down here, who she is. But basically the question was, do we have any recommendations for starting crochet?
Mm-hmm.
And one thing she said was, it's Jacqueline something, that, she didn't want to do a blanket. And I did respond in the thread, but, I think we could discuss it because...
Yeah, I think it's good to bring it up.
We have opinions. But she said she didn't really want to do a blanket. And one of the first things that I said is, I never recommend a blanket to begin a craft. It's like when people do that, and occasionally we have customers who insist on doing that.
Yeah.
They are the ones who do not follow through and become knitters or crocheters.
Yeah.
Because to me, it's like setting yourself up for failure. If you give yourself this giant project that you're even people who've been knitting and crocheting for a while often don't finish things like that.
Yeah.
So
I'm going to have a different opinion.
Okay.
Oh, I like this.
Okay, so when I was practicing photography a lot, there's a technique called back button focus that allows you to have crisper photographs that really focus on your subjects.
Mm-hmm.
Like on their feature or like on a specific part of your subject, and it lets you catch better motion photography, which if you've ever seen my ballroom dance photography, I use that technique a lot, and that's why my dance pictures are crisp. But it's not intuitive, right? Like it feels weird to use your hands in a different way to do the same task that you've done in a way that's like faster and easier and feels normal to you.
Mm-hmm.
And the instructor in that course said, you should expect to take 1,000 pictures before this feels normal.
Mm.
So I think that same thing applies to knitting and crochet. For example, like when I switched from the way of knitting that I taught myself
English, basically, or
nope.
No.
It was
combination
knitting.
Mm-hmm.
That I taught myself on the back of the bus with no instructor. The stockinette looked fine. Lace was impossible. So I taught myself standard continental knitting.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew or had the expectation that I would need to knit at least 1,000 stitches before this felt normal.
Yeah.
Right? And so I took it was a shawl, but it was a shawl that was this wide and like 5 feet long, that I knit 1,000 stitches of stockinette, right? A row of purls, a row of knits. So 1,000 purls, 1,000 knits before I expected to have this motion, physical
feel
motion,
comfortable and
Come into muscle memory.
Yeah. So actually similar, when I started crochet, what was my first project? A baby blanket for Charlie.
Yeah.
I needed a baby blanket for Charlie because I was pregnant with Charlie.
Was that the Atlanticus, or was it something else?
No.
Okay. I didn't
It was
think
the wavy.
The wavy one.
Oh, right, that's right. I do remember that. Yeah, but that's
It 45 inches
Yeah.
of crochet waves.
Mhm.
So
Double crochet over and over again.
I have a middle opinion.
Which is
I
great.
agree that you don't want. I don't think a blanket is a great first crochet project, but I do think that you're right. It takes a good chunk of time for something to feel natural.
And you should expect that.
And you need to expect that. If you're learning something new, you need to you need to remind yourself that you've never done this before. And this is why I find kids, especially when you're teaching kids like a new craft, they are used to that. They don't expect to be perfect the moment they pick up the needles or the hook. They're like, cool, it's going to take me a while. Grown-ups, 100% are like, why can't I do it right? And you're like,
you can get frustrated so quickly.
I get it. You're not used to learning something new because you haven't done it 1,000 times yet. But I also think that you need to do a couple of small projects. I think a couple of small projects because, and also some of this is knowing yourself, right?
Right.
Are you the type of person who is going to get frustrated and pissed off if the beginning of your big project, like a blanket, is not as good at the end?
Exactly. If it's wonky and weedy.
I had in our blog that was wiped by when we got our new website. I showed you my edges were not straight at the beginning of that blanket.
That would make me nuts.
Tis okay.
That would make me nuts.
That would make me nuts. This is why you need to know yourself.
You know what? Charlie has never complained.
Yeah, and but another way to deal with
another
way to deal with that is to do something modular.
Yeah.
So that if you start with and sorry, because when you were first, Amanda, saying that you thought a blanket was a good idea, I was thinking about the one that you did as the knit along, that 1 year knit along, where every square taught different techniques and things, and that is something a lot of stores do to teach knitting and to advance knitting skills.
Yep.
That way, if you want, so say you're making like 1 foot squares. If you really get bored, you could join 6 of them and make a scarf. Right. You know what I mean? If you decide this is not the craft for you, you want to stick to knitting, or if crochet is the best thing you've ever done,
or if you just
go ahead and make your blanket or whatever.
There's also, I think that a lot of times beginners need a sense of accomplishment.
Yes, right? I think that for any new skill,
you need to successfully complete something, so you can be like, I made an
X, a thing, whatever.
I made a square. Granted, I'm also the person that I taught 101s. I was like, knit a swatch. I'm like, look, you did it. That's great. Take it off the needles and rip it out. I'm like, I'm like, listen, you can
literally
keep
made
it.
people cry.
I did. I'm like, there's a reason I'm not teaching 101s.
Yeah, me too.
But also, like, you did a thing, and you did a great thing. Take a picture of it. It's awesome. It's the first thing you ever made. If you want to keep it, fine, but make another swatch and then rip it out so you can see that you didn't break anything.
Exactly. And
if you screw up, you can always rip it out.
That it's so easy to rip it out, and you can reuse your yarn. It's not like you're cutting fabric and that you
can't put the fabric back together.
Do anything with it.
You can rip out the yarn.
Yeah,
that's fine. Until you steek it, and then you're screwed.
So there, as with many things, there are many ways to look at it, but generally, I'm with Jen on the fact that, I think do get a couple of small things under your belt, learn your skills in a progressive way. We have so many people, like kids, that come in and like, I want to make that cat. We have these amigurumi cats here, and it's not super hard, but you need to know how to chain and single crochet before you can make that cat.
Get your basics under your belt.
You need to understand how to work in the round. And the other thing, too, if people don't understand those things, later when they want to make a granny square bag, which is also like a really good second project.
Oh, yeah. So cute.
That's the other thing that's been really popular lately. They're only thinking about knitting in the round if they really do start with a cat. And the whole idea of working flat is stumping them a little bit. So, I think it's always good to dabble in the basics and then decide where you want to go for your first big thing. Do it from a standpoint of a little more information rather than just starting with the big project.
But know yourself. You are absolutely going to be like, I'm going to dive in and I'm going to do this blanket. And by the time I'm done with this blanket, I'm going to be proficient.
Well, and I have a strong, I'd say, practice habit. I practice a lot of things. That is something. I've been a musician since I was young. Mm-hmm. I was a very good musician, right? In my teens and early 20s. Mm-hmm. I don't practice anymore, ever. I picked up the cello a couple of years ago just to noodle on during the pandemic, and it was. My brain thought I could do things that my fingers could no longer do because they're not.
You're out of practice.
They're out of practice, exactly.
Right. Yeah. But I still play piano regularly. But with all of those things throughout my childhood and adolescence, there was a lot of solo practice time, and I like to repeat things until it's right, right? But
Yeah.
I'm not angry at myself ever
Mm-hmm.
for the things that aren't right, and I don't mind performing when things aren't right either, just like with dance or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Like I practice dance and the details of it, improve, but
Mm-hmm.
you know, I'm not going to be a pro dancer the first time I learn something. But I like getting good enough at something that it's like,
Mm-hmm.
to me, the fun part is once you put in the practice and then you're good at it.
Mm-hmm.
Not a pro at it, because that takes that extra,
That's
the last 10%
Mm-hmm.
takes so much time.
Well, it takes almost as much effort as the first 90%.
Oh, it
sometimes,
takes,
yeah,
I
right?
think it takes like 3 or 4 times as much effort
Uh-huh.
as like the last 90%,
Yeah.
which is when you see Shayla's bags,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
right? And you're like, oh, you have
Yeah.
really
You've
worked
done
on
it.
this craft, right? Like
Yeah.
you have that last
Mhm.
10%. Or amazing hand dyers like Amy, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Who have
Mhm.
that
Yeah.
attention to detail.
The
that
thing
last
that really
10%.
sets them apart. Yeah.
Right. Whereas on my sweaters, I told Shayla, I'm a 95%er. Like, if it's 95%, excellent. That's good enough for me. Yeah.
Oh yeah, exactly. I've gotten much more to be a 95%er on things. I used to be much more of a perfectionist. I mean, I worked for like 15 or 17 years for someone else who was I started out as a perfectionist. I reported to one for
Oh, no.
17 years.
Yeah.
I was like almost psycho by the time we were not working together anymore. But
Yeah.
really, over the intervening years, I've learned, most of the time, 95%. If it's a sweater I'm making for myself,
Yeah.
whatever, it's like 95% is more than adequate.
Well,
And if it's something that needs to be perfect, if it's a drug formulation, which is not what I'm doing,
Yes.
Right.
then yes,
That's
it
true.
needs to be
Yes.
100.
If
you
you're a
know?
pharmacist,
yeah,
You need to
that's-
be perfect.
That's really important.
And that's okay.
Yeah,
Um,
But
that's
you've
not
gone
me.
into that industry because you know that.
You know that.
yeah. But that also like allows you to be continually learning.
Yeah.
Which is
Yeah.
very good
Yeah.
for your brain health,
Yeah.
right? And for your
Absolutely.
like emotional well-being, right?
Yeah,
like
that's true.
continually learning new things. It keeps your brain active, and,
Yeah.
and vibrant.
Awesome.
So,
So-
we probably. Sorry, what were you gonna say?
I was going to say we should move on to what's new in store because we have some fun stuff.
One of the
and we're
things I'm
running late on.
thinking is, we're running long. Amanda has very little time to edit this time.
Oh yeah,
So-
but I think I'll be okay.
All right. Well, let's go to new in store anyway because we have some fun stuff that I want to show.
We do.
And it's so pretty.
Yes.
Okay.
So actually, let's do the little one first, just because I don't think we've talked about this yet.
Speaking of learning new things, so many people are learning,
Pickleball.
right?
pickleball.
Yeah.
There's a thing in Montclair. I was just reading about it. Like,
Yeah.
because I
Pickleball is
often, like,
huge in Montclair.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, there's like I think it's starting. Anyway, there's like a for September and October. It starts late September after this episode comes out. There's like a learn to play pickleball.
Yeah.
In Montclair.
And
Like
it's
a little
super
community thing.
easy to pick
I'll
up.
put the information down below.
There are courts if you're late.
So we have Madeline Tosh sock in
Short court,
short court.
which is their hue of the moment for September.
It is
So
the
it is
hue of the
pretty
moment.
much
So pretty.
the end of September by the time you're seeing this.
Apropos.
But just to know that, that is something we're getting every month. So if you see any of the hue of the moments, in social media, anywhere, we are one of the places you can pick that up.
Absolutely.
And we are
That's super
stocking
fun.
it in Tosh Sock because we
Because
have
we
a
love
lot
Tosh
of
Sock.
we have
We
a-
love
we
Tosh
love
Sock.
I love Tosh Sock.
This would make a great sock.
Yeah.
Our shawl. I love the colors in this one. It's so pretty.
You know what we could do too? We could even crank it too. We did that with some of the West Yorkshire spinners, but just to if you're not a big into it sock knitter, but you don't mind doing heels and toes.
Yeah.
That would be
I think
That'd be
once
super cute.
the month is passed, it's like why not crank one of them into
Yeah.
a tube? Somebody will buy it
with
as a
some
tube.
orange contrast.
Yes,
Oh,
that would
so
be so
fun.
cute. Yep.
So fun.
Yep.
So we have the Madeline Tosh short court, our
Yeah.
hue of the moment. And then we also
I'm
have
moving things off to make room.
You know what we didn't do is we didn't talk about our giveaway from last episode.
You're right. We didn't.
Our drawings.
So, and honestly, I was so amazed, and I did answer a bunch of questions, which adds to the count overall.
Mm-hmm.
But our the last episode had only been up for 3 days before I had to draw the winner. Yeah, Saturday, Sunday,
many
Monday.
comments, though.
We had a lot of comments, which was really nice. People are excited about the knit collage. So the last question was, what would you make in the knit collage make-along that we're doing? And, a lot of people said pixelated. A lot of the pillows was a common thing, which I loved. I thought that was so smart. Or other home goods like little baskets and things would be so cute.
Oh, yeah, somebody said a desk set.
Yes,
oh, yes.
Right? Isn't that so fun?
Cute.
With the little daisies on it, like popping fruit. Oh my god,
it's adorable.
But so I randomly drew from the comments that answered the question, and our winner was Knits in Progress, and they said it's so hard to choose just one, but I think the Plaid Cardi.
Yay!
Yeah. So Knits in Progress. Go ahead and email us. And if you want to go ahead and join the make along, well, your prize is one skein of the knit collage yarn. So either the daisy chain, the spun cloud, or the wildflower. So pick one of those. And if you're going to do the plaid party, you probably want the spun cloud, though you might want the daisy chain, like I did, I mixed up, my top. You could use daisy chain and then a couple of mini sets, have one more repeat more frequently or something. So let us know what you'd like, and if there's anything else you want, and we will get that out to you.
Yes.
So congratulations.
You could use, a daisy chain with yours plus the pop rock.
Oh, you totally could have.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
You could have done all one stripe. You could have done all one color. It would have been really cute. You could have done just two colors. So many options. Yep.
And another one of our longtime viewers, Karen Mattingly, I know lives in California. A lot of times we go back and forth about how the climate is so different and everything. She had a great suggestion. I forget which one. And there was one she said she really liked, one that we did, but she said probably the more reasonable choice is Topanga, which is a Cardi made in the wildflower, in the cotton.
Yes.
So that is so smart. I love that. And actually, I put that in my favorites when I checked out what that was.
I really liked Topanga. It was a good, a good option.
Yeah. So, so that is our last time winner. And so we'll talk about, we'll show our next new in store, and then we'll talk about what you're going to win if you are our winner for this episode.
Yeah.
So.
Which everybody's already seen because they saw the cover.
True.
But
but still, so we'll show you the blanket first. There is a new yarn from Noro called Malvinus.
Yep.
And
look at that.
It comes in so many amazing colors.
But it's solid, which is so different.
Which is, so different for Noro, but still those really fun, vibrant colors.
And I love this blanket. I love this sample.
Mm-hmm. Actually, it looks a little bit like Kara's temperature blanket, except it's random.
It
know what I mean? It's kind of similar. So we can leave this here on the table.
September this year.
Exactly. 90-70. So we have, what did we say, Amanda? 18 colors?
No.
14 colors.
All right. So we have purple.
Sorry, I'm getting to the point where I can
black.
Okay.
White.
White.
Orange, of course. Fuchsia. Tan. And as with Noro, they're all numbered, but these are, by the time this is up, they will be on our website.
So this tan is the color that's in here.
It's like the background color.
A lot of these colors are in there.
A lot.
Turquoise.
Black is
This is like a lapis. Magenta.
Oh, I love this one.
True purple. I love that there were two oranges.
Look at this. There's
so
this
fun.
Purple.
Look at that blue. Lake blue.
Beautiful.
Emerald.
That's a good green, too.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
and lime. Look how gorgeous.
And lime. Okay, are we balanced?
Looks pretty good.
So this is Malvinus, and it's 100% wool. It is, worsted to Aran weight?
Does it say 4?
It says a US 7/8.
US 7/8.
Yeah,
worsted weight. I was looking at the 8 to 10, the crochet hook. So worsted weight, and there's a ton of yardage in this. This is...
They're 150 gram balls.
They're 150 gram balls, which is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like it's such a good palette, too. Like, you could do a sweater in this, you could do,
We gotta check again. Is that right? Is it actually $18 a skein?
We're checking the price to see if we can give you an accurate representation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
Woohoo!
$18
I remembered it right.
That is
I had to double
I
check.
haven't even looked at it for weeks, but that number stuck because I
For
thought it was such a great
150
value.
grams,
That it was such a great value.
And it's such a, I mean, you get the Norel colors are beautiful.
300 meters? Oh my goodness, this blanket.
How many?
Isn't that expensive?
No, it's great.
That's crazy.
It's amazing.
Yes,
And I feel like this is such a fun, like, on-trend color palette.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, so
and I don't
great.
know.
It would
Do you do a
actually,
beautiful scarf out of these?
Mhm.
I was about to say, I mean, it's worsted. It would work well for color work too. I mean, just think about a throwback.
Totally.
Oh yeah.
A
Oh my
throwback
goodness.
in this would be
Stunning.
fantastic.
So fun.
Stunning.
So fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could have so much fun with those colors.
Yes.
And it's
that would be
because
a
it's 100%
totally-
wool. You could do a steeked throwback Cardi.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which
Like we did with the Lucky Tweed.
makes it so much easier than
goodness.
doing color work flat.
And we'll have to find out the name of this pattern too. I'm sure there's a tag on here somewhere, but it's probably buried right now
Probably
by
on the
yarn.
bottom.
So-
But yeah, no, this is a lovely one. So we're gonna do another giveaway.
Yep. So.
Per usual.
Mhm. So the prize is going to be one bowl of Malvinas, and I think the question to help us continue with our We Have Opinions segment is what would you like to hear us talk about and discuss? Because as you know, I love that we all come at things from different points of view. No, we do. It's like that's the interesting. Like whenever we meet, and like one of us usually will take the lead on a project. When the three of us talk, it gets 100% better.
It gets way better
Because we all have input and we listen to each other, and it improves. So
community, man.
I love that. So yeah. So what is? Do you have a good question? And it should be something we can discuss, not just what sweater you think I should make.
I mean, I have opinions on that too.
That too, exactly.
You want to know my opinions on sheets? I can give you my opinions on sheets. I have a lot of
and
them.
towels, right?
Jen has
towels.
100 tabs open.
I have 100 tabs out. Oh my god, you don't even know. That's just for the pattern thing. All my other tabs. It's like my brain.
So yeah. So what should be our next? And we may save them, but we'll pick one as the winner for for our next episode. And
So we'll do these opinions for a while until we create so much internet ruckus that maybe
I know. Like controversial opinion.
And actually, taking a page from Nitty Natty, I love that she does, hashtag question. Why don't we do hashtag opinion?
Yeah.
If you're giving us, if you're giving us something that you want our opinion on, go ahead with hashtag opinion, and we'll really know. Like, we'll pick one of the ones that used hashtag opinion for the prize winner.
But if you want to enter the prize, that's a separate comment, because we're not going to be able to...
No, just comment once, and we'll figure.
You think with both the opinion and the...
Oh, wait.
But that's part of it.
That is the question.
The opinion is letting us know that it is.
See, there we go. Can you tell we're getting punchy?
This is why we're a trio.
That is the question this week. So this week...
The question
is just hashtag.
So
We'll practice using hashtag opinion.
But in the future, use hashtag opinion so we can
continue.
The hashtag opinion will be different from the question.
Right. It'll continue developing our group of things that
and
are good to discuss.
Save Kathleen's sanity.
Yes.
Don't put a hashtag opinion with the question. Except for this week. Except for this week.
Yeah, I think it's time for lunch, guys.
I think our caffeine in our brains has run out.
It's like, yes! No,
mine has. In fact, my cup is on the floor on its side.
I know, mine is on the floor too.
It fell over earlier.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching.
Thanks so much.
And stay tuned for next week. Make sure to set the alarm bell and subscribe. 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Sorry. Set the alarm. See, punching. Set the alarm bell and subscribe. And you can follow us online at Shop Yarnia, pretty much everywhere. Instagram, and make sure to sign up for the newsletter so you get the information about our birthday sale.
Yes, exactly.
We'll see you next time.
Take care.
Bye.